All right, this is MTG Buddha, and I'm back again today. I'm going to do a little something different today. I'm going to show you something that I use to kind of better my Magic playing, and I think might be something you might be interested in doing. And to be fully transparent off the front, I am not being sponsored by anybody or anything. I'm just started doing this stuff, and I'm not being sponsored. This is just something that I use, and it is a really cool app. If you use it, it will come in very handy. So I'm going to go on and open it up. All right, here we go. All right, this is called MTG Assistant, and this app is really cool. When you go into the main page, it starts out on a page that kind of gives you a bunch of articles and things you can go into, but you sign up and you use your MTG Arena um, sign in and you link your account to them. And so then they are able to pull all of your information from MTG Arena. So you can go in and look at your stats, and it's going to show you where you are currently in the season. So currently, I haven't been playing as much constructed as I should, but currently I'm at 19 and 23. I have a 45% win rate. Part of that is because of the fact that I've been testing decks out and just kind of like playing a couple games here with a game deck and playing a couple games there with the deck. I haven't really settled on a deck that I want to play to try to level up. I'll probably do that sometime the next week or so when I have a few days off work, and I'll probably try to play a whole bunch of constructed games and try to get into platinum or diamond or somewhere. I probably won't play enough to get into mythic, but I'll try to get at least into platinum. I try to be platinum in both each month. I'm hoping to get into diamond tier this month in limited. But it'll also show you what your win rates are in limited as well. Currently, I'm at 38 and 39, so I'm at a 49% win rate. I want my win rate to be above 50 um, easily. It should be. I've had several drafts that have gone really bad. But also on here, you can go in and you can go to your drafts, and it will show you what you've done in your drafts. So it's going to show you all the way back what you've done. So this is what I have done in my drafts since I started using the app. It's going to show me all of it. So all the works and everything. So we're going to look, just kind of be transparent about what I've been doing with my drafts. We're going to start with the Dominaria drafts that I've done. So like what you see here, this was a 4-3, a 2-1, a 1-2. Of course, this was a traditional one. Um, this one was a traditional one. I went 2-1 with it. I went 0-3 in this traditional draft. It was really bad. But then of course, early in the format, you're trying to figure out this format and everything. Then I went 2-3 in another premier draft, and then we started doing quick drafts. I don't know what this one is. It's the Streets of New Capenna, and it says I went 0-1. I don't know what happened there. Don't know what it was. It's weird. But then there's also, let's see, we've got went 0-3, 0-3. So those are two bad drafts in a row, and like really hurt my stats. These drafts here where I had like the very few wins and a lot of losses in a row kind of hurt me. But then we go up. We got a 2-1 in a traditional draft, and then I had another 1-3 and another 1-3. But then we went 3-3, 7-2, 6-3, 7-1, and I just had a 2-1. But the cool thing about these are you can go in, and after the draft is over, you can go back in here and you can go to your card pool and click on it, and it will pull up. Let's see if I can get this to show up on my screen. Let's see, I got to try to get this to pull up as well. Yeah, so we'll do that one. Okay, so this is the card pool. Try to make it full screen if I can. Let's see, let's go. Yeah, that's just going to have to be good enough, I guess. All right, so this is where it shows you your card pool. And so you can see all the things you drafted and where you drafted them. It'll tell you over here, pack one, pick one. I picked this guy. And then my next pack was this. Then I picked this. Then I picked. So it shows you what you picked and goes through and shows you all the cards that you picked in the order that you picked them. And then if you really want to break it down, you can go in and you can look. See if it'll show you. Yeah. So this is what pack one had. This shows you now all the cards that were in the pack. So you can see what you picked over other things. And then when you go to the next one, it'll show you all the cards that were left in that pack. So you can see what was left that you didn't take out of that pack. And it kind of gives you like a rating for how good the card is to take. So like if you look in this first pack, this says a 4.0, which is high. So that means that's a card that you would really want to take. So the fact that it had has a 4.0 means that I probably took the correct card to take first, is what that more or less means. It kind of gives you an idea based on like um, what the other people are drafting, how they're drafting. It lets you know how high things are being picked. So this was a 2.7. So there was the only other thing in here that was higher is this, but it's black white. So having already taken a blue green card, taking that is a little bit lower on the thing. But you'll also see that this land is being taken highly. So you'll see this is also being taken highly. So the thing becomes like taking this could be good, could be bad. I might should have taken this or this over it, but you'll also see people are taking lands early. So that's why lands aren't coming around. I took this next, which it's saying is a 1.4 at this point in the deck in the pack. So based on the numbers, it's saying that I probably should have taken this card. Yeah, it's saying I should have taken this guy. This was a 2.2. So based on the numbers, it's saying this is probably what I should have taken. But yeah, if you look, if you can go back and look through and see what was left, and you can be like, okay, well, if I had done this differently, so like this would have been, I would have had that. So yeah, so like I probably would have wound up in a black white deck if I had done this differently. So like this deck, this draft, um, was actually this is one of the ones that I went 0-3 on. I think that I picked to show. Um, so yeah, I went 0-3 on this draft. So I made the right pick in the first pack, but when it comes to the second pack, I can now see that yeah, I probably made the wrong pick. I probably should have picked this and shifted into black white. Um, or potentially, maybe in the second pack I could have found domain stuff that would have let me do splash that card. But yeah, I probably should have went into black white in this pack. Um, so I probably should have been drafting black white, which is probably why my deck went 0-3. But yeah, you'll see, you can go back and you can look over your stuff and it'll advise you of stuff. And then you have your deck helper. So it shows what my deck actually looked like. This was what my main board looked like. This is what all I had in the main board. And then it shows you what you had in the sideboard. So it's a really good it's a really good way to go in and look at your stuff. But once you go out of it, and you can go back into this, what you do then is you can just go and look at all your different drafts and see. So like, so what? Let's go ahead and look at this 7-1 that I just did a while ago. Let's see. Let's turn this on. Let's see if I can get it to pull back up. Let's see. I'm having trouble getting that to pull up. So let's try opening this up again. All right. So let's go window capture. Yeah, there we go. We got it. Okay. So yeah, here we go. All right. So looking at this one, it'll show that I took this. It's a 5.0. That means it's the definite pick because I don't think there's anything above 5. I took this at a 3.1, and let's see, this is a 3.8. So difference between a 3.1 and a 3.8 is negligible. So I think this is still a good pick. This is still probably the right pick. Then I took the dual land, which is saying is a 3.1, and I doubt there was any. Yeah, the only other thing that is rated that highly is Blight Pile and this card, which actually I like this card. This card's good. I actually in a paper draft had 2 copies of this. And toward the end of the game, I was able to play this, kick it with no cards in hand, draw 2 cards, drew the second one and a land, played the land for turn, kicked the second one, and drew 2 more cards. I mean, it was ridiculous. But yeah, that card is really good. Highly, highly like that card. So yeah, I could see having taken that, but you know, at this point in the draft, I had taken the binding, so I knew I wanted to do domain things more than less if I was going to play the binding. But yeah, so I took lands fairly highly over after that. But yeah, the taking the mana worker, it's probably going to say that I should have taken something else. Yeah, it's going to have these things rated higher. Um, Essence Scatter is rated fairly high actually. Um, but yeah, mana worker kind of felt right to take there. But then this guy's rated at 2.6, and this is rated at 3.5. A lot of your legendaries are rated a little higher, but I think by pick 6 in the pack, you kind of settle into your colors by then. So you don't necessarily want to go by the rating at that point. Um, but yeah, this kind of shows you how that is, and it'll show you the deck helper. It'll show you how my deck actually looked. And as you can see, this was a 7-in-1 deck. But yeah, this was what my deck actually looked like. And it was really good. Um, Ran through quite a few people with it. But yeah, this is a really good app. If you've never used it, I highly recommend using this app. Switch back over to the other page. All right. Yeah, and then you also have where you go into constructed. It'll show you like what the current decks in the meta game are, and it'll show you if you're missing cards. So it'll show you if you wanted to play this deck, you would have to draft, or you'd have to craft 2 rares and 2 mythics. So that's all you would need. That's all I would need to craft this deck to be able to play this deck. This one would take 3 mythics and 2, and it'll even show you what it is you need to craft. Um, this one I have all of, and currently mono blue is at a 61% win rate. I actually have a mono blue deck built, but yeah, and then you can go to alchemy. It'll do the same thing for alchemy, same thing for explorer, historic, and then it'll do brawl as well. And you can switch between regular brawl and historic brawl. You also, let's see, limited, it'll show you all the different sets, and it'll give you like ratings on the cards based on where they are, and it'll tell you what they are. This is the absolute best you can get. It's 5.0. 4.6 is incredible. It's a bomb, but not unbeatable. 4.0 is a good rate or top tier, good rare or top tier uncommon, so forth. Kind of shows you where they are. So like if they're down here, the 0 would just be not playable, almost unplayable, so forth. And it'll show you for each set. You can go into the set and click on it, and it'll show you where everything is listed. And it's in alphabetical order, so it kind of gives you the ratings based on where it's at in the alphabetical order. You can find it. I'm not sure if you can sort by number. No, it doesn't show where you can sort by number, but you can sort by rarity. So you can just sort through the rares. And you can see that this is listed at a 5. This is listed at the AI rating listed at 2.9, but the pro rating listed at 0.5. So what it usually shows you is the AI rating when you're looking at it, when you're going through and looking at your pack picks. That means basically this is what the MTG Arena rates it at. So when the Arena is drafting, this is how it's going to draft. It's going to draft this card really highly. It's going to take this card if it's the first card in a pick in a pack. It's going to take this card higher than the pros say that you should take it. There's pro ratings for the different cards on here as well. So you can kind of look like the pros actually have this rated a little bit higher than the AI has it. But it's just based on, doing this, you can kind of go through and see, what cards are cards you should probably be picking early and things like that. Let's see. So latest winners. I haven't done this yet. Okay, so yeah, oh, here I am actually. So it shows you the people who went 7-0, or who got all the top wins in a draft. So as you can see, like I am actually listed here. Should be listed another time, shouldn't I? Maybe it doesn't go back far enough. But yeah, this is me. This is my 7-1. And then like somebody else, like you could go in and you could look and see what my deck looked like. So like let's look and see what this guy's deck looks like. So we're going to view his deck list, and I'll probably have to switch to the other app once it pulls up. It might take me a minute to switch over. So we're going to have to open up a new window. Window capture. Yeah, okay, so we're going to open this up so we can look at it. All right. All right, so let's go in and look at this. So we can look at this guy's deck. Let's look at it compact. All right, so looking at it this way is a little bit easier. So we can see he was in black and white with a little bit of a green splash. So yeah, so he had a Phyrexian Defiler of Flesh, Phyrexian Ragers. He had a couple of the Knights, a couple of the Spider Goblins. So yeah, so he seems like he had a pretty aggressive deck. Yeah, a Citizen's Arrest, Chugging Miasma, Take Up the Stand, Artillery Blast, 2 copies of Battle Rage, Blessing. Yeah, and then he ran 16 lands. Yeah, and I've been running 16 lands in a lot of my decks. He didn't have any dual lands in his deck though. Um, yeah, I'm surprised he didn't play a Captain's Call since he's being aggressive. Um, but yeah, I mean, as you can see, it's really a really good app that it'll go through and it'll show you all the different things that um, other people have been drafting. You can kind of look through and see what some of the best decks have done. If you haven't ever used this app, I highly recommend it. One other thing on this, it'll show you your constructed as well. So you can go in and look and see what all your constructed decks have done. I have a lot of constructed decks that I've went in and just played some games with, trying to test them out and things. So I have a lot of decks listed on here. Some of them are like 0 and 1 or 0 and 2 because I play them and I'm like, yeah, that's not working, and I'll jump out of it and I'll redraft or recreate it or do something to change it, and then it usually gives it like a different name. So like this deck right here was a sack deck that I started out and I played a couple games with it, and then I decided to change it, and then I made this deck and I changed the name, and then so it lists on here now as this. So it currently is a 61 win rate. But it'll show you, it'll break everything down. It shows you 16 wins, 10 losses, shows you what your win, how many times you've been on the draw, what your win rate was, how many times you've been on the play, what your win rate was. If you scroll down, it shows you your different matchups. Like I'm 2-0 versus blue black, 2-0 versus black white, 2-0 versus mono white, and so forth. It'll show you the things that you lost to and everything. Gives you like a good idea, and then it has like the little graph so you can see all of this as well. But it's a really cool little thing to do, um, and it will also pull your deck list up for you, so you can kind of look at the deck list and see what it is. Um, but yeah, if you go back with the decks, but yeah, it has all this in here, so you can go through and look at all this, and you can check out how each deck does and see how it did for everything. I don't know if it has. Yeah, this is the deck that I did for the what's it called, the sleeper event. Yeah, this was the singleton deck I did for the sleeper thing. So and it's saying I went 4-2. I think it was actually 4-1 because I don't think you get a second loss. I don't know. It was 4-1, 4-2, whatever it was. But yeah, yeah, it's saying I was 4-2, but yeah, because you want to get 4 wins in that event. I don't remember if you get 3 losses, so I might have went 4-2. Um, I just know 4 wins is what you were trying to get to, and I got there. Um, but yeah, this deck goes in and shows you everything that was in the deck. And it also, if you go in and look at your summary, it'll show I won the first couple games, lost, and then so forth. But yeah, so it'll show you what you did good against, what you played against, all that type of stuff. But yeah, it's a very good way to go in and keep up with what's going on your arena, see how you're doing. I highly recommend this if you haven't ever used it. Download it, give it a try, see if it works out good. Like I said, I'm not being sponsored by them. This is just me personally. This is what I use. It's something I found that I like, and I want to tell people they should use it if they don't know about it. So hopefully you will use it and give it a try. Let me know if you like it. Let me know how things work out for you. Um, but yeah, I'm sure there's other features on there that you can use that I haven't used and that I didn't go over. But I basically just use it to look at deck lists that I've done and see how they play out, see what my win rates are. I know I've done a few drafts where I purposefully tried to force things for videos. Like I was like I've done one. one of the '03 drafts I had, I did a stipulation draft where I was like, I'm taking every legendary and I have to play every legendary I see. And I went up having a deck with like 19 legendary creatures, and it was ridiculous. It was horrible. So I went '03 in it. And then I did another draft where I did something like that. Force it was like, I'm going to force defenders. And yeah, so my win rate in limited has taken a hit because I've forced things just to try to see how if I could do it and how they would work out. And I've been kind of stupid with some of them. So the last couple of drafts, I've been like, all right, we're gonna be serious with this, and we're gonna actually try to win our drafts like we should. And so the last few drafts, I've actually managed to win a fair amount of events of games in those drafts. So hopefully, um, hopefully you enjoyed this video. If you did, I would appreciate if you like, subscribe, comment, let me know what you feel um, about the app that I just showed off, and let me know if you use it and how it works out for you, and if it helps you with your gameplay and stuff. I think it's really handy being able to look back and go, oh, okay, well, I did good against this, and well, I didn't do so good against this. If since I didn't do good against that, what can I do to maybe make myself better against that, and so forth. So it's very handy to go through and check out everything. So I appreciate watching this video. If you haven't used this app, I highly recommend it. Hopefully you have a good day and have fun playing Magic.